and welcome to the weekly roundup. I'm Trevor Gregg with
Darcy Evans,
and we're going to start off with Magoos, the Magoos side of things, and then we'll talk through the A grade side of things. But just have a look at where things finished up last week. Prince Alfred finished on top with only the 3 losses. Goodwood Saints in second, Trev Gully in third, Adelaide Uni and Henley, and unfortunately Paynham and Unley. It's surprising Paynham in their B grade have dropped that low, but they've had a bit of injuries in their one, so they've had to counteract it. But the way things are looking at the moment, we've got the boys from Adelaide Uni going down to Henley, 9-7-61 to 5-4-34. I didn't think it was going to be that close.
No, that's it.
And being out at Campbelltown Memorial Oval. Byer kicked 3, Ferguson with a couple, same with O'Dwyer, Dobson and Curry. And the best players were Smith, Dobson, Rex, Trussell, Morrison and Lawless.
And for Uni we've got Connell with 2, Parker again and Green, so that's L Parker and M Parker. And best players with Connell, Penament, Pittman, Slade, Warren and Keynes. So well done to Henley. I mean, gee whiz, they're having a bad year in the A grade this year, so they're going to get relegated, so they've got something to celebrate, just that the B grade's still alive in the finals.
Yeah, so, and it's exactly right. It doesn't matter what happens up top, I think they're still going in, and we've been talking about a lot of B grade championship sides tonight, Darcy, over the A grade. Now the next one, Goodwood Saints against Trev Gully at Pertaringa Oval. 11-5-71 Goodwood to 5-10-40.
Goodwood Saints,
absolutely, especially at Pertaringa.
It's very hard to beat out there at Trev Gully, so and the crowd's gone berserk over here, so which is good. But yeah, the Goodwood Saints again, they're A grade, not having a good year, so it's good we're going to celebrate something in the B grade this year. So where are we? Crowds
I know, just gets you. We've been here how many weeks in a row?
They just decided to play pinball right now. That's all good.
Cochrane kicked a couple, Doyle, Penny and Langman. And the best players for the Gullies were Cochrane, Gruber, Williams, Thompson and Doyle.
And for Goodwood Saints, we've got Kennedy with 2, Clark with 2, Gate with 2, Presser, Schiller, Maslin, Lynch and Elms. And the best players were Kennedy, Ewers, Theo Lulu, Quinn and Presser.
Next week's going to be a good one, semi-finals time. Trev Gully versus Henley at Paynham Oval.
You would think this is like the Div 1 of yesteryear, don't you? So Trev Gully and Henley, and we're talking about Division 2 now, so PAC maybe not, but Goodwood Saints, the sort of teams that were always in the Div 1, the top 5 of Division 1. But Trev Gully and Henley, it's been played at Paynham Oval, so look, I'm probably much about the 2s, but I'm a good soft spot for Henley, so make Henley a bit of an upset.
I think out at Paynham is going to be a big day because it'll be Paynham versus Salisbury North in the 1s. There'll be quite a bit of a crowd there, but for me, I'm going to say Trev Gully also, and that'll finish off things there for Henley. But yeah, Trev Gully for me. And the next one is at St Mary's Park, Prince Alfred and Goodwood Saints on a big oval,
massive oval. Because of that PAC, I think they've been the dominant side in the A's, B's, and most of the other sides as well. Goodwood Saints, they train in a smaller oval, play in a smaller oval. I think Prince Alfred just love the big grounds. I think they should take out the biggest in this one.
They love a big one every now and then at Prince Alfred, don't they? You walked into that one and you kept going.
I did.
Oh, hello, Tommy.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm with you. At St Mary's, I think Prince Alfred will do that.
And we go across the A grade with elimination finals. So it was a Mad Monday today. I'm presuming it was for Ross Trevor because I took on Salisbury North and didn't win. So it was Salisbury North 11-6-72 to Ross Trevor 8-12. So pretty poor kicking there by Ross Trevor 60. So Ross Trevor maybe they did have the changing coaches during the year, maybe put a bit of uneasiness in the side. But well done to Salisbury North. They've been playing well this year. But Ross Trevor they're finished for the year and it was a Mad Monday today, I'm presuming.
Yes, and as you were saying, with their coach moving on. They were in 4th, doing okay, I would have thought. And yeah, so obviously the Karma bus has come straight through. But again, Salisbury North, as Nosey said, and I've seen them 3 times later this year in close succession, they're just like a sleeping giant.
Yeah, they are.
They're just starting
chipping away.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all you got to do. It doesn't matter if you've got to go if you do it from 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. Just keep chipping away at it, and they might cause a couple of headaches.
Finals are a different side. It starts lower again. We've seen Westminster go from Div 6 to Div 4 in 3 years. Just come good at the right time. So, but we go through the goal kickers. I'll start off with Ross Trev. We've got Kamain. So you've got players like Kamain and Fantasia. Just probably didn't kick on the weekend, but Kamain with 2. Bell with 2, Medhurst, Holm and Fantasia. Best players are Nelligan, Holm, Sutcliffe, O'Malley and Medhurst.
And for Salisbury North, Nason with 4, Sharp with 2, Wheatra and Ben Wiles and Eichner, Morganti and Nason. So Morganti's a great player, absolute great player. He was a little bit quiet previous week up against Paynham, but it's again Lynch, Pate, Hay. Those types of guys are not getting in the best players, and they were able to get the job done, so they weren't relying on them as much, from what I've been told. So which is good for Salisbury North.
Yeah, absolutely. And this game of the round we thought it would have been, and it was played at. Now, where's it played at? So it was played at Pertering Oval, so very hard to beat Teacher Gully out there. And look, Teacher Gully have played Paynham there before, and obviously won by big margins as well. So Teacher Gully 16-30-109 defeated Paynham Union 10-11-71. That's probably where TJ is. He's probably recovering from that loss. We're not sure, but good win at Teacher Gully to put themselves in a very good spot for the finals, I think.
Now, my word on this game, Darcy, is they didn't have anything to go with Melville. They had absolutely nothing to go with Melville. So it was the Melville show. You got Jolly and Ruck pretty much all day going up against Coshell. Coshell is back. Yeah, Coshell is back.
A few weeks overseas, now he's back. He's already getting probably the best players, or one of the best players. So.
But he didn't dominate. He didn't win the ruck duel on the weekend. Jolly won it. And then therefore, Jolly rucked out most of the day. But that meant that having Jolly outside of that 50, they'd only had Davis to go to. Now, all due respect to him, Young lad did it really well against Salisbury North, but that was their only focal point. And then Davis has, kicked 4 out of their 10, which is a good return. But there was nowhere else to go to, another big target. So, but in the end, it's not panic stations. They knew they were going to be coming up against Teacher Gully. They get the second chance next week. And in saying that, Davis with 4, Giannini with 2, Clark, Jolly, Seymour. Is that Piers Seymour? Is that our vote, Piers Seymour? It is.
It is.
Burrows, and best players were Jolly, which was it's in conjecture.
Yeah, absolutely, you said. Yep.
O'Leary, Bauer, Davis, and Haynes. So no real name, no real mention of Giannini. The Agarastas boys were evidently horrendous. Could not do a thing right. Pippett was quiet versus what he did against Salisbury North. So have some of these boys coming up, taking spots. Played their final against Salisbury North. Don't know.
Yeah, but they just said, look, Teacher Gully Melville 7 goals in a Division 1 final. That's just outstanding work. So Bailey with 2, Cockshell come in with his couple, Spittle 2, McKay, Sandry and Min. So you see those players every week getting the goal. Yeah, absolutely.
Donda, he must be all right with his calf. Is it calf?
No.
Calf or leg?
Best players are Golding, Hand, Spittle, Melville and Stan. Melville just the 4th best player with 7 goals, but obviously Golding, he's usually all around the ground, that guy, so he's probably got his 400 touches as he usually does at most games.
I think Bilby will be happy that Coshell's back, and even Gravel Dick, Sandico,
yes.
He's didn't get as many touches. He is dead set one of our favourites. Unfortunately, so that's where we have a look at what's happening next week, Darcy.
So we've got Paynham Union take on Salisbury North. Gee whiz, I think, as you said, Salisbury North are just coming good right now. I'm still going to go for Paynham Union at Paynham Oval. So they're going to have a good crowd behind them. They're probably used to the oval there. I'm going to go for Paynham, but I'd watch out for Salisbury North, I think. I'm toss of the coin here. I think if on a different, obviously being at Paynham, if they're one-dimensional like they were against Salisbury North, like against Paynham a couple of weeks ago, then Paynham by plenty. But if they change it up and do what they did last week, I think it's going to be a closer game. Guys like Lynch, getting him around the footy, which I keep talking about him, he's very, very good. But Agarastas boys need to lift, Pippett needs to lift, Hay also, Giannini was quiet again. If they can lift around the Javor Junction, I reckon they're a chance. So I'm going to go with you and go for Paynham at home, but not by much. No, exactly. So the next game, PAC take on Teacher Gully again. I think Teacher Gully, after that big win against Paynham Union last week, when we see like the Melville's kicking 7, the Goldings and the Stinks getting the best players as usual. McKay, Sandry and Min, I mean, they've always been the best players. We saw them at we called that game that day, they were brilliant. I think I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm
Ooh, hell.
going to go for Teacher Gully over PAC. I think PAC just had it too long. But then watch PAC in a couple of weeks to follow that one.
Yeah, also, I mean, this is obviously going to be their first game of the final series this week. I think they're going to have some. I'm going to have some space, and I think they're going to like St Mary's a little bit more than Teacher Gully will. But yeah, Prince Alfred from me, and then Teacher Gully to take on Payneham next week to see who goes on for the big one.
Yep. So it's St Mary's Oval, is it? So it's going to be
St Mary's
big oval. So it's a big oval. So both are big running teams, and as if they're strong, they both love the wide boundaries, and they do run it very well. So it's going to be I think we've got some tired boys into that game, I think.
Stop Melville.
Yeah, exactly.
Limit Bilby's influence around the ground. You'll be able to beat Teacher Gully. But the thing is, if you're beating them in the ruck, their midfield just read the opposition ruck extremely well, and that's where they won the footy on the weekend.
Exactly.
Well, that's all we've got time for, Darcy.
It is.
For Division 1. Of course, we'll be back next week. Tommy might be back. He's flat on his back at the minute. He did something. He went to the doctors. The doctor said bend over and cough, and we heard his back. So I made that bit up. I'm not sure what's wrong. He's just sore. So again, thank our sponsors. Thank Portland Hotel. And we'll catch you next week.
The crowd over there. So
yeah,
thank you.
The audience.
See you later.